Run it back nation, what is good? Sixers sickos, what is good? Watch Sixers magic with us tonight on Playback TV, playback.tv/runitbackphilly, and go to hellofresh.com/runitbackfree to get free breakfast for life. Let's get down to business. Two things here today. The Sixers organization does not want to hire Allen Iverson, and I have a few theories on probably why, and my annual say no to a Kevin Durant trade video coming right up.
Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros.
Okay, so Allen Iverson did an interview with Rachel Nichols where he was talking about how basically he would love to be a part of the Sixers organization somehow, some way. And just one of the quotes was, "My role there is nowhere near what I think it's supposed to be. I love that organization for everything they did for me. I want to give them more of what I have." Now, I have a theory, because he also mentioned, he was like, look at some other teams, and, the historic players or the legendary players have been a part of the team ever since they retired. And all I'm going to say is, and some people might get upset about it, I could go into all of the details, but I don't think Allen Iverson has as good of a reputation with the Sixers organization as the fans think he does. There's two things here. There's a fan base, there's an organization, right? The fans love Allen Iverson. I love Allen Iverson. He's on my wall right here. I started playing basketball literally because of Allen Iverson. I love everything about him as a basketball player and somebody who came from nothing and just loved this one thing so much that it's all that he focused on, and it took him to the highest level of that one thing, which is playing basketball, right? But the fan base loving Allen Iverson and how the organization feels about him as a potential employee are two different things. Now, I could go through all of the things that Allen Iverson did throughout his career that pissed off the organization. Of course, we're talking about practice rant and notoriously missing practice or showing up late to practice and film studies and other events that pissed off Larry Brown for most of his early career, and the legal troubles early on in his career also. And I'm not saying you should hold someone's past against you, but if you were looking to work for a company right now and you had a reputation with that company over the past 20 years or so that wasn't so great, you probably wouldn't get hired by that company either. Two things from recent memory. Did you know the Sixers no longer interview Allen Iverson at Sixers games, because the last time he was interviewed at a Sixers game, he was completely intoxicated off his ass and said a bunch of things about they my little guys, talking about Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid at the time. Didn't really answer any of the questions and pretty much embarrassed himself on national TV. And probably the biggest one that doesn't seem like people know about or remember or are old enough to know about, the Big Three tournament was coming to Philly a while ago, maybe 10 years ago now. The Big Three, maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago, I don't remember, time's flying, but the Big Three tournament was coming to Philly. Allen Iverson was supposed to play in the Big Three tournament. They were hosting the event in Philadelphia. They promoted the entire event to Philadelphia as Allen Iverson playing in the Big Three. They used Allen Iverson. He agreed to it, his agents and everyone, to be literally the face of this event, to sell it to the city of Philadelphia. I was excited for this event. Lots of people were excited for this event, for Allen Iverson to play in the Big Three in Philadelphia. They sold the event. They sold tickets. They sold everything. Do you know who didn't show up to the event? Allen Iverson. And then later, it came out that his team put out that his doctors didn't clear him to play, which didn't really make any sense, because how would you sign on and sell the whole event if you weren't cleared to play, right? Rumor has it, Allen Iverson was gambling at a casino in Chicago until 5 a.m. the night before, and that is why he was not at the event that his face was on. Now, I'm just making guesses as to why Allen Iverson doesn't work for the Sixers. That's just what I'm putting together, and then he brings up older players that work for other teams or legendary players that have been a part of the team since they retired. Yeah, it's probably because those players retired and had a vested interest in the team, and since the day they retired, made it clear that they were interested in being part of the organization and made it happen. I don't think randomly the Sixers were like, no, we don't want you around. I think Allen Iverson hasn't been around, and now he wants to be around. Why would that be? That's all I'm saying. I know a lot of people are going to skew that in the comments and make a whole thing out of it and twist my words, but it is what it is. That's what happens when you talk on YouTube every day. Now, do I think Allen Iverson deserves to be a part of the organization right now? Absolutely, 100%. Why not? One of the main reasons I would love Allen Iverson to be around is his mentality on the court. His never say no, his never back down, his intensity, his resiliency, his you can't stop me attitude, even if all the odds are against me. I think the Sixers players could take something from Allen Iverson being around. Also, Tyrese Maxey doesn't have a face-up dribble move. And if you could get Allen Iverson to legitimately teach Tyrese Maxey to face up and cross somebody over, that's good enough for me. If Tyrese Maxey could get 5% of the dribble attack skill set that Allen Iverson had, it would be worth it for me. So, I would love for it to happen. I would love for Allen Iverson to come into this organization and show a level of dedication that he hasn't quite shown organization-wise in his career. But I wouldn't expect it to happen. That's just where I'm at with it. I just wouldn't expect it to happen. Give me your thoughts and opinions. All right, man, let's get this out of the way because I have to make this video once a year, it seems like. Because, now Sixers fans are DMing me and tweeting me and telling me that the Sixers should trade for Kevin Durant. So here's my yearly I don't want Kevin Durant section of a video at least, okay? First of all, I predicted the implosion of the Kevin Durant-led Brooklyn Nets. Wasn't hard to predict. I don't know how everybody falls for it every time. Part of it was probably people that shouldn't be talking ball, like Max Kellerman saying they're the greatest. They have the potential to be the greatest of all time. Chris Broussard called them hypothetically the greatest team ever assembled. It was easy to see that they were destined to fail. Before the James Harden trade, Durant and Kyrie going there as free agents without Brooklyn trading any of their depth. That was a good squad with Jared Allen and Karis LeVert and everybody. And then Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving convinced the front office to trade all of the depth and 5 first-round picks for James Harden, and that ruined Brooklyn. And Kevin Durant said, now I want to leave. I decimated your team, and now I would like to leave. Okay? And now he's doing the same thing with the Phoenix Suns. And I predicted the downfall of the Phoenix Suns. Not just on the Kevin Durant trade, trading a large part of it, the Kevin Durant trade, trading depth like Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. I almost said Cam Thomas. Cam Johnson and other pieces and future assets. And then trading 6 second-round picks for Bradley Beal, who's the most overrated star in probably the history of the game, and taking on his enormous contract. It was not hard to predict the implosion of the Phoenix Suns the same way it was not hard to predict the implosion of the Brooklyn Nets. Now, here's why I don't want Kevin Durant on my team. Kevin Durant is a coattail rider. Kevin Durant, since leaving OKC, has just wanted everyone to give him a perfect situation so that he can do what he did in Golden State, you know? In OKC, you lose to Golden State, and then you join Golden State. You join the team that beat you. Snake move. I don't care what anybody says about it. Absolute snake move. You blow a 3-1 lead to the Golden State Warriors, and you join them the next year. Absolute snake move. And you know what he was able to do in Golden State? Basically hang out until midway through the third quarter, where he could be the killer fourth quarter weapon. It was easy for him. Then guess what? That wasn't good enough. Oh, I don't get along with Draymond Green now, so I want to leave here. Goes to Brooklyn, implodes that team by talking them into trading for James Harden. But he's wanted an easy ride since the beginning. And when it got a little bit hairy in Brooklyn, he couldn't even hang out for another half a season? Forced his way out of there. As soon as it got tough, he forced his way out. Goes to Phoenix. They trade all of their depth for him. And now he's frustrated again because the situation isn't perfect and he's not going to have an easy ride. Kevin Durant wants a team full of superstars so that he can do what he did in Golden State. And as soon as it's not that, he's not happy. This is the new era of ego-driven NBA players. James Harden, same way. Same exact way. And you know what they'll never do? They'll never point the finger at themselves. You have these grown babies who are so high on themselves. They blame everything around them for the failures. It's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for me. I don't want Kevin Durant anywhere near putting on a Sixers jersey because of the mentality that he carries. Everything is everybody else's fault. Kevin Durant's career. No edits. I don't give a fuck. Kevin Durant's career is becoming a joke. And he knows that. Why do you think he got caught with a burner account replying to people on Twitter? Because he cares so much about what people think. Because he has a deep insecurity about how he won those rings. So the only rings you won were by joining the best team of all time who took you out the year before? And now you can't win a ring outside of that. Nobody takes your rings seriously. And now you're insecure about it. I don't want Kevin Durant anywhere near putting on a Sixers jersey. Absolutely no thank you. There's my take on Kevin Durant. No. No. The snake is eating itself from the tail. That's what's happening. Y'all have a good one.